It's hard. It's hard to censor me. What was that called? Like you said, you raw dogging?
You raw dog, and then I dog you.
Yeah. So
I domesticate you.
what is raw dogging? So
Yeah, you're unfiltered.
yeah, that's what I mean. So I raw dog all the time.
Yes, but then I have to come and filter you.
So you kind of like the reason that I raw dog. Now let me get this right. It's because you're edging me. It brings me to an edge.
I'm rimming your orifice.
Oh, okay. I like where DB10 has taken us today.
Yeah. Are we going to say where? I mean, we've never been in DB10, as we talked about.
Yeah, exactly.
We were never there. It's a conceptual space. It is wherever we are. We've taken DB10 on the road.
Yeah, I like this. I like what you did by texting me and saying, "Hey, let's just do DB10 on park benches on."
When you said that, but
Well, yeah, I know. Or in galleries.
Yeah.
But not galleries, just creative spaces. Yeah. Libraries.
Yeah.
Having an audience somehow.
Yeah.
Indirectly or directly, like we had today.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like that. I like that. At first I was like, why? And then I still don't know why. Why?
Well, off the back of the discussion that we had last time as well. Firstly, because it's no longer my workplace. Not that we ever were in my workplace. But yeah, there's a bunch of like terms and conditions that are both real and imagined. Actually, you were interesting. You were talking about that, you know, how your shift towards anarchism and that idea of like resistance and the way within which at work we can steal various things.
Yeah.
It's very important. But part of that, and that's, you know, from de Soto, the tactics of resistance, part of his claim is that it works for as long as it is invisible. And that's your power. Your power is to move quickly, to tactically, guerrilla tactically steal, and then change your tactic. And I just sort of felt like we were doing that at this point. I now started to feel that the slow-moving strategy of an institution could be locking on. And so it was time to change our tactics.
Yeah.
And so this is a change of tactics.
Yeah.
The more we do this, not only the more do I feel that this is like important to me personally, but the more it feels like an artwork. And that gives me a kind of liberation, a kind of capacity to be like political in a tradition of political art, rather than in the tradition of like political discourse that or publishing, that might more often associate with a podcast. I feel like our weirdness and how like wanting to change this all the time and work out what works and then do the opposite of that is a good thing. And I think and I feel like it attacks some of those people without us necessarily having to name and attack them directly. We can do it through talking about dinosaurs or
exactly.
or sitting in your living room. That to me is already an act of resistance.
Yeah. Anyway, dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs.
Like today, there's no real like funny story
time as well. But But we also know the violence, which is you're about to submit me to, which is that you actually have done homework today
about dinosaurs.
No.
Yeah, I did your charts.
Yeah.
I want to do this live, right? It's really funny.
You did give me some spoilers though.
I did give you some spoilers. Actually, so what I did use was like an astrological website called astro.com. And it took me ages just to find your birth time.
Well,
Can I tell?
Yeah. Tell the story.
Which is just 1:30 in the morning, which I don't think it's one. Who's born exactly at 1:30?
Oh, no, it wasn't.
It's like 1:33 or something like that.
Yeah, of course.
I was born at 12:30.
Okay.
12:35, something like that in the morning. I don't know why I brought that back to me.
Maybe
so you're Scorpio. You're born on the. Can I tell people?
Yeah, I guess so.
Right.
Is it
Yeah.
a problem? I
don't know. The 3rd of November.
Yeah.
3rd of November.
Yeah.
If that's.
But the reason I don't want people to know is I don't want any fucking birthday messages.
Well, you're gonna get heaps now.
Happy birthday.
by the time this
another
podcast
6
gets out
months,
there, it will be
be like a
November.
million
Yeah. And they'll go, what are they talking about? And it'll like, we'd probably be in prison by then
Yeah.
for being like artists, activists.
Yeah.
Just us.
Yeah. We'll still be able to do a podcast from prison.
Yeah. We'll be doing a podcast from prison from cell block DB10. It's not a bad life, right? Thinking about it. Like just walking around all day in your PJs or just an outfit.
I don't think that's the only thing that you do. I mean,
What else
that wouldn't
do you
be
do?
that wouldn't be the take home for me.
Well,
you wouldn't be going home. So
yeah. For you, that would be great. Like you don't get to go home.
I get to stay in a cell.
Like they open up at what? Your cell opens up. I don't know. I've never been in prison. I tell people that I've been in prison.
You get up at like 6. It's a good like consistent routine.
Yeah. Get up at 6, lights up. You get like, the wardens.
With that.
Yeah, like banging on your thing going, you'd probably become friends with them. Like they'd be slipping you books.
Calling me a snitch.
No, but like, I'd be friendly with them.
With everyone.
Yeah. I'd be, hey, Joe.
How are the kids?
Yeah.
If we were in prison together,
you'd give me some.
I'd want to be in solitary confinement. That's all I'm saying.
Would you?
Yes.
Would you be doing push-ups?
I do push-ups.
Like would
already.
You be, like
I would get.
Would you get
more?
buff?
Yeah, I would buff up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd just probably like just not
be you. You'd be the same fucking person.
Yeah, I know.
I'd be a terrified little mole rat doing push-ups in the corner.
I'd be a duck.
I now have seen ducks all over your house.
Yeah.
So I know you're not lying. I did.
Yeah.
I looked it in the eye as well. I was doing a piss.
Yeah. There is ducks everywhere. Is there any ducks there? No. Read the book. No, I've got unicorns. The unicorn reminds me of just how fucked our imaginations are as human beings. It's just a horse with a horn on it, right? There's fucking amazing, weird shit, mystical animals that really exist, like giraffes.
Yeah.
Giraffes are fucking,
Ducks.
Ducks, man. Moles.
Yeah.
Right? Like a mole, like it under the ground, pops its head up.
Yeah.
Goes back home.
That's all it does.
That's all it does.
Yeah.
Looks, goes back home.
Yeah. Can't even look because it's fucking blind.
Yeah.
Just pokes his head up and go, yep, still fucking blind.
Yeah, exactly.
Do my fucking charts. Come on.
Okay, your charts.
Look, I'm waiting here to be violated.
I don't know where I start with your charts. There's so much. There is so much.
Oh my God, that is a lot of text. I'm not that layered or complex.
I went, this is Tim's chart. Tell me in a casual tone about Tim. Describe aspects of his personality and what is good about him. Notice how I didn't say what is bad about him?
Yeah.
That's what I'm going to do.
Easing me in.
I'm going to
looping me up
now.
To ram that chart.
Analyzing Tim's chart. Now tell me what's bad about him. Who wants to know what's good about him?
No one wants to know. Everyone already knows that.
Right, yeah.
Everyone loves me. So we need to find my flaws.
And this is what is going to this is what's going to open up because it's going to be so accurate. You're actually going to like sit there and melt in your chair, and it's going to be great theater for me. And you're just going to go, fuck, I hate doing this.
I feel like we now need a safe word or some sort of.
Yeah. This is voodoo shit.
I know.
It's voodoo shit. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to go to the good points.
All right.
This is a good point.
I'm already dissociating, just so everyone knows. I'm fucking floating.
I can see you have. So it says that you're intense yet charismatic. This is a good point. Final thoughts. What is Tim's core vibe?
Yeah.
You're meticulous yet adventurous. What the fuck does that mean?
No one likes me.
I can see that. You are very adventurous, but yet you are.
But I'm a mole.
You're a mole, but you do like adventure. Like, hey, this is your idea. Let's take it to the park bench. You know that we are going to end up.
You said that.
I know, but
You're adventurous.
But I know you scratch fire with me. He's got a sharp mind. You do. You do have a very sharp mind. A bold presence. You do.
That's just my deep radio voice.
You pull off a cardigan really well.
I wore a cardigan lecturing this week and I got so many compliments.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
It's really weird. The first time I saw you in a cardigan, it was really long.
I like a long cut.
Like your hands were like halfway down the sleeve, like near the elbows.
It's the closest thing I can wear to a cape and get away with it.
Yeah. Then it was like the cardigan. You're like bringing back the 3-button cardigan. It was a 3-button cardigan. Fucking hell, man.
Fuck, I'm weird. I'm bold. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm bold.
So that's bold presence. And
Bold.
wait, this is the bit. This is why we should be doing this. And anyone from academia should listen to this. He has an incredible work ethic.
Give me a fucking promotion.
He thrives in deep intellectual discussions.
Why do I do this then?
I believe you do. I believe you do, right? You do thrive in them.
Yeah.
But you need people to talk to you, right? Okay.
Debatable.
His life is about mastering communication. I don't know, is it? Why is my mum calling me? Should I answer this?
I mean,
I don't want to decline. Okay. Declining your mum on the phone is a weird thing to do.
yeah, I wouldn't do that.
Back to Tim. Analyzing Tim's chart now, tell me about the bad shit. You're emotionally guarded
Yeah, well, I mean, fucking of course.
and hard to read.
Yeah,
That's
Mr.
because-
Darcy.
I don't know about this, only because I know you, but it says you've got a cold interior or exterior. Not interior,
Oh.
exterior.
Yeah, no.
You've got a cold exterior. Do you?
Yeah, I would say that I would self-reflect that.
Tim's Capricorn moon makes him emotionally reserved. He might come across too serious, emotionally distant, and even cold. I don't see that at all. I don't know if I should continue with the negative side of Tim.
No, keep going.
Oh, really?
I'm much happier hearing negative.
Yeah,
than
it's really
positive.
weird.
Yeah.
Maybe it's true. It says you are much happier hearing negative things than positive things. Can hold a grudge forever. Can you?
I feel like I do that more performatively than emotionally.
Yeah.
I like the idea of having nemesises, but if I actually think about it, I don't actually hate them.
It says this is rare because not everyone is out to get you. And you know that. Perfection and overly critical. I can see you
Yeah.
maybe not overly critical, but everyone is.
Yeah, again.
Fucking hell. Fix it.
I feel like-
look, you got to fix it on the app. To fix it, learn to let go of perfectionism
Well, this
And accept-
podcast is definitely an example of that.
and accept imperfectionism. Not everything has to be 100% flawless, Tim. How is this making you feel, by the way?
So actually, I feel fine.
You do?
I don't feel anything. I feel, if anything, this whole process is making you question this shit.
Yeah, it is. Like I do like reading cups and shit like that and I'm digging in further, but it's because I know you so well that this is just like,
Look, I feel like the spoilers you gave me before were more spooky
yeah.
than now.
All right, let's go to the what the fix is. No, let's go to the final verdict.
Okay.
The final verdict.
What do I get sent to jail?
What's bad about Tim?
Title of the podcast.
You're emotionally reserved.
Sure.
You can seem cold
Mhm.
and unapproachable. I
That's
see
just because
that.
you don't ever pick up on those cues.
Yeah, no,
Fucking get in my face.
yeah, I know. But maybe I can see that. Maybe like, yeah,
Ask anyone else.
you're hyper suspicious. You assume people have hidden motives. Are you?
Yeah, again, that's why I like you, because I know your motives aren't hidden because you can't
Yeah.
possibly hide them.
Okay. Should I put both our charts in here and see how we're like good lovers or not?
good. Whether or not we're compatible.
Yeah.
This is now turning into a teenage
I know.
podcast.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing.
Fucking hell.
Nothing.
You know who just popped up in my mind then?
Who?
Laura.
Which Laura?
Not your partner, Laura.
Honest student.
That
Laura.
would your honest student, Laura.
Yeah.
I don't know why. What I feel sad about, just really quickly, is that we did share the podcast room with Laura.
Yeah.
Does that mean now that I have to invite her here?
Yeah.
Maybe we can go on the road with them.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We can be the sucker fish
Yeah.
to their shark. Feeder fish. What do they call that?
Feeder
fuckers?
fish. Yeah.
Feeder fish.
The one that grooms the shark. They let them groom.
Yeah, I'm not grooming. It's
No,
clear.
I mean, yeah, sorry. That was a bit weird. Sorry. Like, you know what I mean? Groom
Yeah,
is
yeah,
in,
it's
like,
like
eat the parasite.
Eat the
top.
parasite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna try to let all my thoughts just drift away.
Happy place, people.
Drifting away. Okay, we're almost finished this. Look, power struggles in conversation. Wants to control, doesn't back down.
I don't feel that's true because I show a lot of restraint in my conversations with you, like a lot of restraint.
You do. I can see it in your body language. I think this is why, like, this is your fix-it. Like, being with me is your.
Oh yeah. This is yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. This is, as I've said many times, this is my community service.
I don't know if I should read the next one out.
Maybe not.
Okay. So that's just,
That's gonna exist.
that's going to exist. And you know what? You guys might be curious. You just can ask us if you want to know what that line was.
Well, they now have all my information, so couldn't they just fucking do the chart and find it out themselves?
This is true. But no, not really. It's because I've worded it special.
Right.
Like,
You've
you're
worded
just gonna,
it.
like, yeah, who says, tell me the bad shit about myself, or like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Overthinks everything he says.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
Okay.
Fucking don't care.
Maybe not. Maybe, does this make you want to fix it?
No.
Okay, cool.
Is that one of the things? Not wanting to fix stuff?
Okay, Tim would benefit from loosening control. Sorry. I need glasses. Letting himself trust more, embracing imperfection, and opening up emotionally. Which I feel like he has with me.
I'm glad you feel that.
Yeah. He's got a brilliant, powerful mind. You do. Is that a weird thing to say? Everyone that knows Tim would probably say the same.
You know what?
Probably the first thing that comes to their mind.
You know what?
No.
No.
He's got a weird, brilliant and powerful mind.
Well, no, the first adjective is correct, but the only the only thing that it is because I have unintentionally lived a fairly weird life. On the surface, it would look like nothing interesting happened, but it means that I've like watched and read and like partaken in culture in ways that most people haven't. So the way that I relate to a topic is through some strange fucking reference, which makes me sound intelligent or sound like I know everything. Yeah. But it's just because I think we said this last time. I listen to the B-sides rather than the A-sides. So if you mention a B-side of some band, everyone assumes you know all the hits.
Yeah.
I don't fucking know any of the hits. But because I have this like weird esoteric relation to like theory and ideas, it just makes me sound like that. That's all it is.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the trick, people.
This is a very deep psychological profile.
I feel like a crime has been committed and they've done a profile of the person who committed the crime.
Look, I have to say something, right? This is why I like this. That chart would not come up with me. It's almost like it knows things that are obvious about you.
Yes.
And that is fascinating to me. Like, that's a bit witchy.
That's the voodoo-y bit.
Yeah.
I bet I had a bit of witch in me.
You do have a bit of You're Scorpio. You've got water. You're a water sign. Apparently Scorpios and Pisces make great lovers.
Debatable,
yeah. But, by saying that, like, lovers can be like, it's not a sexual thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, I love you.
Yeah. There's no doubt about that.
We make great lovers, right?
Yeah, we do.
Let's start.
Let's start.
It's, we need to do this. Can I just tell you why?
Why?
Because it warms us up. It warms us up for the good shit. This is what I always skip this stuff.
Yeah, but then when we look at when I've seen the average listen time, it stops about now. So everyone's just listening to the fluff. Fuck it. I don't care if no one listens to me.
No.
They're just listening to you doing my charts and telling stories. And then all the fucking hard effort I've done not using AI to generate shit is no one listens to. And you wonder why I'm fucking suspicious of others and don't open up. You fucking cunts listening. You don't even hear this.
I try. Like, I really try. That's all I can say is I try.
Look, you I was going to say you listen, but you don't listen.
I do. When I listen.
You're here.
I listen. I do listen. I'm here. I listen when I'm listening to this.
Okay. All right.
Because I can't interrupt that. That's really weird. And I actually go, oh my God, Tim had a really good point. So, like, for instance, this is why I'm glad it's a part 2, because I can now really. You had a quote last week that we just went into some weird magical world and we never read your quote out. And I think your quote should be read out.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah. And I would like to read it. if you don't want to read it.
Okay. All right. Well, it's not on these slides.
That's what we.
Well, you want to fucking read it now then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, can you read it?
Yes, I can read it.
Yeah. Can you give us some background about
Yeah.
what you're about to read? This is about dinosaurs, right?
Well, the quote isn't about dinosaurs, but
No.
it links to what we're talking about. In particular, the notion of domestication of animals. Where the fuck are you going? I'm about to read.
Can't. I need to concentrate. They're bugging me.
For the first time, I was going to read you something that I'd written.
I wanted to
And you
concentrate.
fucked off.
I wanted to concentrate. I was doing that for a real reason. I wasn't doing it just like.
Look, can you give us some context? Where the fuck are you going? Thanks, Mel. I thought I really heard. Right. So,
Wait. There's an aeroplane going by.
yeah, I'll give the context before I start the quote.
We're not in the West, by the way.
So, yeah, the whole point of the dinosaur, talking about the dinosaur, is this idea of domination through various forms of domestication. And in my book from a few years ago, I was looking at pornos that were shot in Australia. In one of the chapters, I was looking at that. One of them is called Outback Assignment, which you'll hear the title of in here. So I was interested in this section was the domestication of the kangaroo as not only something on our coat of arms, but the way in which it operates within pornography, because it's like both intentional and unintentionally there. Anyway, so the foregrounding of the background literally occurs in Outback Assignment, which is one of the films. It produces the most unintentionally comic moment in the film. A commercial photographer is sent to Australia for a series of photo shoots with exotic backdrops. One backdrop is the archetypical deserted beach. What seems like a generic beach is interrupted by a mob of kangaroos. They interact with the actors, getting in the way of the shoot, pulling attention from the semi-naked models attempting to strike a pose on the sand. Before long, the scene descends into chaos as the inquisitive animals disrupt the flimsy pretext for the scene and its pornographic intent. The scene is such a failure that it remains in the film as a series of very fast jump cuts, presumably because only a few seconds of footage was usable in each take. The most revealing shot is when a kangaroo hops in front of the camera, taking up half the screen. The camera remains focused on the model, posed in the background, but the kangaroo obscures the view, insistently placing itself into the foreground and demanding to be filmed. How the mob of kangaroos behave in this sequence reveals the life of the exotic symbol. The kangaroo has been completely colonized, turned into a symbol on the Australian coat of arms. The difference between this scene and the aviary scene, which is another scene where they fuck in a aviary, which is also hilarious because the birds go fucking apeshit, is that there is no cage. The truth of the kangaroo is that their entire existence is within a cage of law and nationalism for which they are the non-consenting symbol. If the birds in the aviary respond to the fucking and the camera in the same disinterested way, the kangaroos take this one step further, performing for the camera and becoming the stars. What this scene shows is that the exotic can only exist in already colonized land, and what it finds there is already domesticated difference. That is, forced habituation to the colonizer's gaze. The exotic that Gauguin found in Tahiti was the already tainted, with quote marks, by Christian missions and European trade. Gauguin was disappointed, but this disappointment did not stop him from enjoying himself and turning the effects of violent colonial subjugation into symbols of the exotic. This misinterpretation of the colonial effects as pre-colonial exotica is central to how exotica is represented and enjoyed. The kangaroo jumping naively in front of the camera would have been very successful as exotica, but it fails as porno exotica because their physical proximity to the actors and the camera prevents the fucking. As symbols, they allow white bodies to fuck, but when performing their own survival strategies of habituation, they interrupt the very fucking they inspired. By placing themselves in front of the colonial gaze, they are allowed to live or given the possibility of life. But when the actual work of colonial sex takes place, their existence is superfluous, annoying, and even threatening. That's the end of the quote.
Wow, that's great.
Thanks, Mel. But yeah, that was the whole idea of domesticating nature in order for the colonial white body to feel power, desire. They put and the kangaroo is like habituated to that as a method of survival. The kangaroo is a symbol of yes, the exotic, but also that colonization wasn't destructive because they're still here
Yeah.
and they're thriving.
Yeah.
But of course, they don't exist. You know, they are that domesticated, habituated symbol.
Yeah.
And of course, like the presence of the kangaroo and the hyperfixation and visualization of the kangaroo to the point of it being on the fucking coat of arms, etc., or like the boxing kangaroo, etc., is a strategy to disguise the actual genocide. Like what is not here?
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And so you fixate on the animal, you fixate on the kangaroo.
Yeah. It's strange that we've got a kangaroo and an emu on our coat of like holding up this English shield, right?
Yeah. They don't even have fucking arms. What are they holding it up with?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the kangaroo sort of does.
Yeah.
Like little T-Rex arms. Yeah. It makes me also think of Clements and Ford's.
Who, sorry?
Clements and Ford, who wrote Barren Fields. He's the first official poet of Australia. Well, it was before Federation, but like colonial poet.
Yeah.
And his poem is at the Captain Cook Memorial at Cornell. Right? So the inscription is his poem. Clements and Ford write about Banks. Banks is responsible for calling Botany Bay. But they write about Banks's obsession with white ochre because he saw it on the Gadigal people's faces. There's all this correspondence back to Australia from Banks asking for samples of the white ochre. And this ochre was eventually sent. I think Macquarie sent it. That could be wrong, but whoever sent it back to England to Banks, part of that white ochre was given to Westwood, you know, the makers of fucking fine china and shit like that, right? And they made out of that ochre the first seal of New South Wales, the official seal of New South Wales. And so this like material, which Banks didn't know anything about, his only contact with it would have been through this like exoticized like bodily desire of seeing it on these people's bodies, right?
Yeah.
And feeling that it must have some sort of like ritual significance. His obsession with that as a material then gets solidified into like the seal, like the literal, like the seal that would authorize legislation in the colonies, then transported back to the colony itself. And to me, like there's this, not only is there a kind of whiteness and like a fascination of whiteness, but there's like this libidinal like desire that Banks has that drove him to Australia here, this continent in the first place. Because really he was looking for new plants to like become the new sugar crop or tobacco crop or whatever, right? So there's this kind of like desire of discovery for that. But he actually is ultimately fascinated with white paint on black bodies.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, like that's the like exotic, like sex tourism kind of thing. But then taking it back to England and then turning it into law. Like it's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Fucking weird stuff. Anyway, I don't know what that had to do with anything, but yeah.
No, I love it. I see the ghosts in these materials too. This is part of our courts. This is like, you know, something that like is European, something, you know, like this cultural embodiment, this cultural embodiment of Europe.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's right to take something.
Yeah.
That fascinates me, and it's a color, and it's visual, and it's white as well. Like that's what I love about it.
Yeah,
like, you know, yeah. Anyway,
there is definitely something to that. Which Leotard also writes about whiteness as this like pure form of energy that then gets perverted into whiteness as a skin color. And you can kind of see that in Banks. I remember doing a series of works in Sydney, and anyone can do this. Just walk through like CBD Sydney, and whenever you see an old fucking building, just look up like 1 or 2 floors, and you will see these seals, you will see these fucking gargoyles, you'll see unicorns. There are heaps of fucking unicorns, all like 19th century, early 20th century symbology that surrounds like the imposition of colonial law as it was then into the nation state. And it's interesting to me because it's like we don't often think about like the way that these monsters and these like mythical creatures, like these griffins and all this kind of shit, was like not only part of like the seal and all this kind of stuff, but actually like literally sculpturally inscribed onto these buildings of banks and of government buildings.
Yeah,
it's fucking everywhere. Like as soon as you start looking, it's like, oh my God, what the fuck is that? And so I find that side of it, like that kind of mythical reach to try and justify or create narrative around various forms of colonial violence, deeply like fascinating.
Yeah.
as to why we need to do that.
Yeah, I like when you're exposed to it, right? You walk into parks and you see these seals,
Mm.
you know, and you go, why isn't it like, why are we celebrating this shit for?
Yeah.
I think we're more aware of it in the last 10, 15, 20 years since.
But that tends to be more solidified around like monuments, right?
Yeah.
Than like a
Yeah,
but,
you're right. Yeah.
but it's actually like within the fabric of everything.
Yeah. Kneecap was here just the other day for St. Patrick's Day.
Mm.
They had a show at Sydney University, or no, it was at UNSW at Roundhouse,
Oh, right. Okay.
right?
Yeah.
And literally the severed head of a king from a monument, right?
Yeah.
They were passing it around during the concert. Like someone just, I love this like way of reimagining the monument,
Yeah.
taking them down. Do you think we should take them down, or do you think we should fuck them?
I mean, you know what my response is always going to be when I'm given those two options.
But is it good? What's your take on that? I know, and we're supposed to be talking about dinosaurs.
We are. That's
So
right.
can you weave dinosaurs into this last?
Sure.
bit? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I can try and do that. Firstly, I'm in favor of any and all discourse around like counter monument, demonument, removal. Like regardless of what I think should happen, I think any of those attempts and discussions are great. Like fucking do it. Like rip the head off, pass it around, like do whatever.
Yeah.
In terms of my own practice and my own thinking around this stuff, I am drawn to trying to not so much remove it, absolutely, like as in like abolish it, but abolish it not by literally removing the material. So instead of having like a materialist approach that like if we remove the statue, then the violence, not that the violence is undone, but it's like it's this like materialist approach to literally erasing these sites of memorializing something which is horrible. Okay, I get that. That's fine. But I also think that accounts for like half of the story.
Yeah.
The other half is that these monuments are not just about memorializing this stuff. There's a desire that exists at those sites. Now that desire is like dark and horrible, but that's what I was talking about banks. Like there was this desire to go out and to discover and to fuck and to like, which then gets solidified into this like conservative fucking phallic rock, right? So what I'm interested in is instead of thinking about how do we remove that phallic rock, how do we fuck that phallic rock? How do we bring back that desire such that we can have new relations of desire to this site and to those histories that start to not erase that dark desire that was there, but give us opportunities to refuck or unfuck these sites through not just through like a materialist kind of like historically accurate repair, which is never going to be complete or really possible, but rather like throw unruly desire at this thing, like passing the head around, right?
Yeah.
Like that to me is a really interesting unfucking of the monument or refucking of the monument.
Yeah.
And then you can do that anywhere, right? Because you can fuck, like if you walk through the CBD and you see like those weird seals up on the buildings, just fucking go into those buildings, go up a floor and I mean, I've talked to you about this, like just like ideologically, when I go to main campus, I will always do a shit in the business school.
Do you?
Yeah.
I don't think you've talked to me.
Oh, really? No,
I've never heard this before.
I have a tactical shit because
in the business school.
In the business school.
Yeah.
Which is for two reasons. One, perhaps the obvious one, which is like I want to shit in the business school.
Yeah. Are their toilets nice in the business school?
The second reason is that the toilets are really fucking nice.
Yeah.
So it's this kind of double effect where I feel ideologically like I've done a political action.
Yeah.
But also like going in, but even just like going in to a business school, right? Because I would never have done that. And I started doing this like 8 years ago.
Yeah.
And now I do it every time. It's such a weird, like they have little cafes, like their own little cafes in there. Everyone's wearing suits or like, just fucking crop costumes, right?
Yeah.
And you'll see like, you see the students are also like that kind of like student of very like serious and, belief structures and stuff like that. And I just fucking waltz in.
And do a shit.
And it feels great. But that's what I mean. Like, don't go into these places and do a shit, if nothing else.
I hate going into toilets and seeing other people have been there.
Right.
I want to feel like I'm using this toilet. Do you But in a business school, I want to leave something behind.
Yeah.
Do you leave something behind? Well, do you know what I mean? It's like, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, not necessarily intentionally.
Yeah.
But as I said, any outcome is a good outcome.
Yeah.
Like you just start off your day really, really well.
Yeah. Let's go shit at the business
Like
school.
to unfuck these things.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
can be as simple as just doing a shit in a place that you normally wouldn't.
Yeah. Business school shits, dinosaurs.
Dinosaur shit. Coprolite is a type of rock that is dinosaur shit. And oh man, I should have put this artwork in. There's an artist who makes butt plugs out of coprolite dinosaur shit.
Who's the artist?
I don't know. I'll have to look it up. I'll insert name.
Yeah.
In that weird AI voice.
Can you? Yeah.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
Go look it up.
Wait, let's give it a space. Who's the artist?
Thomas Hormain, Astral Traveler, 2016.
Yeah. Far out.
Really interesting artist. I'm sure you can buy one.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So it's a dinosaur shit. What does it look like? Is it like a black quartzy rock, or is it like a coal?
The one that I saw was quite sort of marbled, actually.
Yeah.
He polishes them up, but they're quite beautiful. And that shape that you like, it's the butt plug shape.
The butt plug shape, which is like a bust. I tried to segue into dinosaurs. I was bringing it up.
Should we recap?
Let's recap.
Great. Bringing back there, Mel. You're a real consummate professional.
Art, man. This is art.
Yeah. That's what I tell myself when I rock myself to sleep at night.
Can you do the recap?
Recap. So last time we left off on talking about BDSM.
Oh, that's right.
And we were talking about how not to confuse that with various forms of domination that the dinosaurs signify culturally. And then when I was walking away from that conversation, I was then thinking there's a doppelganger side to the CEO baby that wants to get spanked, which we sort of semi-explored, not to a lot of depth. And there's a lot more that Kemi said there, but I'm not going to say it. And the flip side of that is AES plus F. Do you know or like or have encountered that Russian collective's work?
Say it again.
AES plus F. It's written right there in front of you.
Oh, yes, I have. Yeah.
So big projection 360 kind of works.
Yeah. It's got like a very high fashion feel photo take to it. Yeah.
I mean, it's not. So it hasn't necessarily aged well because of the technology and stuff.
Renaissance style perspective.
Slow moving, Bill Viola-esque kind of style. But the difference is that it actually has some politics to it, being a Russian collective. And there are a bunch of, I'll just try the image anyway. There's a bunch of like, obviously art historical references, a Gauguin reference there. But essentially what these works, and this is the Feast of Trimalchio from 2009, which is talking about the thing that I want to talk about, which is a different form of submission, which is a luxury submission or wellness submission of the tourist resort, like the high-end tourist resort.
Yeah.
And so in these images, we see all the people who are in white are the patrons, are the wealthy bourgeois pricks.
Yeah.
And then all the people in the costumes are performing various forms of ethnicity for these literal whitewashed characters to feel like they're partaking in various forms of cultural pursuits, right? The thing that really triggered me thinking about this was White Lotus, which I don't know if you've...
Yeah, I was thinking that right as you were...
It's exactly White Lotus.
I've not watched this season. I'm waiting for
incredible.
I'm waiting for it to all drop. Well, we're waiting for it to all drop.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
We're actually going to have friends over watching it together.
That's
so.
great.
Do you want to be part of that friend group?
No, I don't like friends.
Sorry.
Stop trying to form a fucking group every week. So other forms of submission, which are not sexual. Well, they do have a sexual element, but not explicitly sexual, but still fall into this category of the bourgeois placing themselves into a submissive position. Are the wellness industries, are the kind of leisure industries, the White Lotus industry, where so often in White Lotus, it is around like the massage as this form. And what is the massage other than like taking off all your clothes, lying down and being vulnerable in front of someone who's much stronger and better human than you in every possible fucking way, right? And they don't kill you. What do? They care for you. They They pamper you. And I mean, this is also coming from me, who's only ever once been to one of these places, and I fucking hated it.
Like a bougie place?
Like a bougie place.
Yeah.
I got a massage. I didn't want to get a massage, but I got like a 3-hour massage, fucking hour massage.
Yeah.
And I hated every second of it.
Did you?
I mean, I don't like being touched by strangers anyway.
Yeah.
Or just touched in general.
We've got
So
like something very
fucking
similar going on.
Really? You know?
Yeah.
Surely you are someone who likes that.
No, I'm not a massage person.
Oh.
Like I wouldn't even, why would you pay for that? It's like,
I like that. That's your reason.
but like, no, not even
Just ask
that.
any random
Like,
off the street.
Yeah.
They'll touch you, Mel.
Yeah. I kind of tense up more.
Yeah.
It's supposed to untense you, right? I
Yeah.
get more tense.
Yeah.
What is that? Why? Like,
I wish they had terrible childhoods. But the
I reckon people now, the 738 people, I'm counting as it goes up.
you reckon non-touches?
No, they've psychoanalyzed us. They've gone,
Oh, sure, but
some kind of repression, some kind of
You're
sexual.
just as fucked as we are.
Yeah.
I mean, you are, but
Yeah.
don't judge us.
Everyone I hang out with loves a massage.
I mean, I don't mind giving someone I know a massage.
Oh, I'm
If
not
I've got
even
a
used to that.
Actually, neither am I. I'm just saying that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
and also just like BDSM, let's be clear here. If you like a massage, I'm not like shaming you unless you're a rich prick. Then I'm shaming you.
Yeah.
Anyone who likes having a massage and doesn't have like a power relationship, a financial power relationship within that, fine.
Yeah.
Go for it. Do whatever you want. But what I'm talking about are these like resorts that are set up for you to have that experience of being like someone that you've never met, that you don't know, who are performing a type of like ethnic massage usually, and that you're supposed to like submit to various forms of pain in the massage as a demonstration of your power.
Yeah.
And so yes, I hate that feeling. I was also thinking like, you know, the more bougie the place, the more expensive the place, the bigger the wine glass.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing. Like there's so many like little things like that make you feel like a baby. Right? There's so many things within that are like infantilizing you. And it's like, why? Why are these places where someone will like pull your chair out and put you in and put your fucking napkin down over your lap and all this shit, right? All this stuff that's being done for you is essentially like returning you to a childlike state. That is the CEO who wants to dress up as a baby. It's the same fucking it's the same kind of thing, right? So it's not so much to try and lift this out of like a BDSM sexual practices, although there's a connection there. We're talking about placing the bourgeois placing themselves in a vulnerable position in those who are exploited, and we get off on, or they get off on, the care that therefore is like afforded to that person rather than the violence, even though sometimes violence is in there with like the massage or being spanked or whatever else.
Yeah.
And if you watch something like White Lotus, what I'm always interested in is how that luxury, how that excess is justified by the patrons, by the bourgeois, either usually of two positions, and they can coexist. One is the idea that the worker isn't being exploited, or if they are, it's better than what they could possibly get out there.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, oh, well, at least in a resort, you're getting like paid minimum wage.
Yeah.
A stable job or whatever. You wouldn't exist without me, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's like a very common narrative, and or like the literal libidinal sadism of that power felt of stripping off naked and like your fucking ugly ass body, stripping off naked in front of someone, and then having these care like sensual things done to you.
Yeah.
Like that is sadistic.
Yeah.
In a very fucked up way.
I'm not interrupting, but I was thinking about why I am interrupting, but I need to. I was thinking about why I don't like the massage, and it was that power thing, like you just talked about. Yeah, I was like, I don't like being more. I don't like feeling power. I don't like feeling that, like, you know, that person that pays for this that has the massage, or I'm being pampered on. It's almost like this weird labor exchange.
Yeah.
And I really feel that. Wow, I've buried that thought deep down and you've just exposed it. I knew that thought was always there. Like I never liked having something of excess, something that shows off some kind of wealth. I'm going to give you a quick story. This is story time with Mel.
Story time with Mel.
my parents never bought me great things. Do you know what I mean? It's not because they didn't want it. It's just like they couldn't afford so much. As with my kids, we don't have a pool. We don't do this. We don't, you know, like I don't have those things to give to them, right? I give them as much as I can. But it was the like 80s or 90s and the Commodore 64 came out.
Yeah.
And I really wanted one. Like I saw the ads on TV and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I really wanted one. And it's this weird, visceral, psychological feeling that I had when I received it in the box. It came like it was delivered to the house or someone dropped it off. I was really excited, undid it. My friends would come over, 3 or 4 of my friends would come over to play on it. Like I had it. And because they didn't have one and they would come over to use the thing that like was expensive and blah, 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 I didn't want it anymore. I had such a adverse feeling to having it that I told my parents it was like within the time that you could return it. I told them to return it. Is that
because that made you feel like your friendships were inauthentic?
Yeah, it was like inauthentic, or I just had some weird opulence that no one else had. Do you know what I mean? Like some kind of weird. Yeah, like having a sports car. Like I would never want to have a sports car. Yeah.
I mean, I kind of feel like that with the pool relation, having kids that like pools. I would never have a pool for many reasons.
Yeah.
But the main one is like I would always second guess for my kids' sake whether or not kids are coming around just to play in the fucking pool.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, the Commodore 64 was the pool.
Yeah. See, they were just good people. That's the only conclusion I can take from this.
Did you ever swim in someone else's pool?
Yeah, I still do. And I am only friends with someone because they have a pool.
Because of their pool. Yeah.
But you don't have a pool, so you know I'm here for fucking work.
Yeah, I know. Look, I don't have a pool. I actually don't like.
You haven't offered me a coffee. You can't even make coffee here, apparently. I found out.
Oh, I offered you a coffee machine.
Yeah, but you can't make me a coffee, but you offer me a coffee. That is so fucking you.
That's it, yeah. See, maybe the machine.
Take this massive machine home with you.
Yeah, maybe. I want to keep it. Like I will, like I said to you, I will lend this to you.
Yeah, you did. Right? I did notice that.
I want to see it used.
Yeah.
But I feel like I want to I want to keep it. It's my Commodore 64. I've worked out why I'm attached to fucking shit that I don't, of opulence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I feel like we've really gotten somewhere.
Okay. We haven't even started talking about dinosaurs.
Yeah. That's just an ASF plus F. If you are interested in looking that up, you will see what we're talking about. But just watch White Lotus if you haven't. Turning to nature then. Okay, so what I've basically set up here is through like BDSM, but also through the wellness and luxury industries. These are still all related to people. So where does the dinosaur kind of fit into this? This will hopefully lead us back to that quote that I read fucking an hour ago from my book, which will now not make any sense.
Yeah.
So to turn,
we can cut everything out in between.
We can we?
You can.
I'm now really attuned to when you say I or we or my, and it's always incorrect.
This is why you need another person in this room to validate you.
I know. I'm feeling so validated now. I'm finally getting why like 3 is better than 2.
Yeah, okay.
It's the first time I've realized this. So in order to feel dominant, therefore, the property developer, I'm just going to refer to property developer as a category because bourgeois is right, but I feel like property developer is just better. Cannot do this through humans, even though it's often expressed statistically through what we just said, and instead turns to nature, and for the sake of this argument to the dinosaur, because their domination, the dinosaur's domination of the world, was natural, or perceived as natural, because there were no humans. Because supposedly the dino doesn't care for the symbolic, for how much money you have, right? Because there is no symbolic universe of the dinosaur, they're just fucking beasts. And yet, of course, the whole industry, when you then think about, okay, so how does a rich person, how does the property developer encounter nature? The kangaroo as one example, the crocodile, to use Australian examples as another, is deliberately set up specifically for these men to feel power, which is often expressed through performances of powerlessness. Like you go and see a crocodile, you note how powerful its jaws are or whatever, right? Or like even I couldn't outswim it. Like I'm a really good fucking swimmer, but I'll acknowledge the fact that a crocodile could fucking take me down kind of thing, right? So there's this like imagining of one's own death through these like beasts. while at the same time, of course, being given this experience of survival from the safety of a fucking boat where the risk is entirely like eliminated and curated specifically for them to feel that little thrill as the crocodile comes up and eats a fucking chicken. From my memory of the one resort that I stayed at, they were constantly like given options for like going out and doing some fucking experience tourism, like fucking whitewater rafting or go see a lion or some shit, right?
Yeah.
Like that was always like part of the package where you could go and have that risk and then come back and have your fucking cocktails at night or your massage or whatever the fuck after your near-death experience. Do you want to interrupt?
No. No. I didn't hear a word you said because the plane went by.
Yeah, I could tell you spacing out, which is that works for me.
It was like obviously it was a plane going by. Like, do you know when you go out, like you're in a party, right? And there's banging music. You don't go to parties. Okay, I'm interrupting.
It's all right.
So when you said the crocodile was coming up, I didn't make the connection to the chicken. I was like, what was he talking about? But I got the rest of it. Anyway, so,
okay.
Yeah.
The crocodile eats the fucking chicken. Because the chicken.
When you dangle
the chicken.
Yeah.
Crocodile comes up and eats the chicken.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
Even though it would never have eaten a chicken in its fucking life.
Yeah. I saw someone doing it to a pig the other day on Instagram.
Feeding a chicken to a pig?
No, a pig to a crocodile.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I was chasing him around and I was like, oh, that's just weird. Why would that be? Why do I need to see that at 5 a.m. in the morning?
I mean, there's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah, exactly.
About you, not the video.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, okay, so now let's look at this.
Okay.
What the thing that Mel didn't understand or listen to in two different ways. So firstly, like the whole scene is obviously constructed for the wealthy tourist, the property developer, adventure holidays, where they encounter these natural predators, dinos in this entirely staged, guaranteed an encounter due to the habituated feeding of the from the tour guides, right? So the crocodile isn't a wild animal.
Yeah.
It is the domesticated, habituated thing that knows it can get a chicken, all to play into this kind of fantasy. This type of experience capital isn't just because they could buy anything, which is the way it's often said, like, why do all these rich cunts want to go to space or whatever? And it's like, well, because they could buy anything. It's not just that, but because they're seeking these kind of performative, hubristic experiences with nature. Like, I'm going to touch nature and I'll still be okay kind of thing. The best example of that for me is the sub implosion. And I love that because it's a sub, it's submissive. And so it imploding was like that perfect positioning of oneself in a vulnerable position.
You're talking about the rich people that died?
Yeah. In the little PlayStation 4 submarine.
Yeah.
And the way that like, I love that there are these moments where like that submissive position actually just nature just fucking crushes them.
Yeah.
And it's just a really like powerful demonstration that there is still possible the real of like, if you put yourself in a submissive position, at a certain point the revolution will fucking happen.
Yeah.
And that sub will understand that it has power or the potential for power and will just fucking crush you.
I have to say, when that happened, I hated humanity for a moment because, you know, in the Mediterranean, there was a boat that sunk 700 people.
Yeah.
It's like, you can fact check how many people. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Maybe it was 4, but I know it was like in the hundreds.
Yeah.
Drowned, right? Refugees seeking a better place between Greece and Italy. And it got minimum airplay. Not that we need this airplay, but at the same time, 4 to 8 billionaires, I don't know, 4 billionaires died.
Yeah.
And one of the billionaires' kids.
Yeah.
And it was on for weeks, like weeks and weeks. And it gives us that disparity of power.
Yeah.
4 people's lives are worth way more than thousands or millions of people's lives. Millions of people could have died.
Yeah.
And we still would have been concentrating on these 4 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the other aspect of that, which I thought was quite interesting, like there was this both use of and denial of military technology because it was like, couldn't we just use the military to find them? Because they have shit that we're not aware of, right? And so eventually, because they're billionaires, right, there was like publishing or it may have been America, I'm not sure. Navy came out with like the sonar of like the pop, right, of the implosion. And it's like, okay, so you, in the middle of nowhere, you have the technology to register a pop of this thing happening, this tiny thing happening. You could use that technology to find every missing person in the Mediterranean.
Yes.
Right. And you are willfully letting them drown.
Going back to that artwork, the Russian artwork, it's got like this kind of like opulence and luxury to it, as we do with White Lotus, giving us that. And it just reminded me of Luigi killing the billionaire. The reason why we love Luigi is because of his model-esque beautifulness. Even like what is being portrayed every time has to go to the court is what he's wearing. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
And how well he wears his prison outfits. Like, this is why we would be good at in prison, I reckon.
He's so good.
Yeah. But and
Well, you are a fashion designer.
but like the fact that he murdered a billionaire and the amount of people he has, like, it's like this spark of this revolution, a revolution of thoughts, because when no one's going to do anything about him being in prison or other billionaires, no one's going to do anything about it.
Yeah, not.
But there is this kind of like thought bubble of revolution going into like implanted in people's minds,
and as you rightly say, an aestheticization.
Yeah.
Of him, right? Like that is so interesting to me, because I remember reading Boris Groys on depictions of saints, because there is a kind of saint-like narrative that he's been given. Like he's been like ascended right into this like mythic status. Boris Groys writes about how when an artist paints a saint, the most important aspect of that painting of the saint was the fashion, was the clothes. Yeah. And the reason for that, the exact opposite of why people get naked to get a massage, is because in Christian theology, only God is able to judge the naked person. In other words, God knows that the saint is a saint, but everyone else, all the other humans, don't know that they're a saint. The only way you can do that is through fashion, through like signifying through what they wear. So you have to present them as a saint through fashion. And I think that there is this like aestheticization of these like heroes, which is about fashion, and I remember reading that and thinking, fashion is actually really interesting when you think about it like that. Like it is doing political work through aesthetics.
Yeah.
And it is undoing this idea of like the naked body as how somehow like signifying power, because only God can do that.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Wow. I just thought about you in your dress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bought a Alexander McQueen.
No way.
Yeah. Secondhand.
Yeah.
But it's a Rorschach dress.
Is it the one that you sent me a picture of?
No. It's a new one. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm really excited. I love Alexander McQueen.
I'm worried when I flick through my phone now, you come up, every now and then, like I'm flicking through my phone. I'm showing pictures of people, like I'm showing pictures of Nico, or I'm showing pictures of like, my artwork. And then there's a picture of you in a dress.
You see, that's just going to make me want to send more.
Yeah. You should just do
I have been kind of trolling you with them, to be honest.
Yeah. It's great.
Anyway, I'll show you my McQueen when it gets.
Yeah, that would be great.
Anyway, the dresses are very cool.
Speaking of opulence.
Fuck off. They're both secondhand.
Yeah. No, but it does feel nice to wear, like...
I've never worn... I don't think I've really worn any labels, to be honest. I've had fashion designers make me stuff. Yeah. Like one-off stuff, which is pretty incredible. But that's because I'm from friends. That's not because I've never bought a fucking fashion item in my life.
Sometimes there's labels, right? And then there's fashion designers, right? And then there's artists. So I feel like you're wearing a bit of art when you're wearing like an Alexander McQueen, or like there's something a little bit different. But when you're wearing a Gucci, you're wearing a Gucci. But if you're wearing an Alexander McQueen, you're not wearing like his freelance job. You're wearing him.
Yeah. That's what I hope. And I'm going to wear him because my next lecture is Desire.
Yeah.
So I'm going to wear the Rorschach dress for the Desire Week, which seems...
We should get a massage together. Okay, that's what I think I'm going to call this episode, right? You have to remind me.
Yeah, sure.
Part 2.
If I don't cut that out.
Okay. Still going to call it that. I have to take a break right now.
Because you need a piss?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Right.
Now you are holding the mic.
So you were saying now I'm holding the mic correctly.
Yeah.
Now you can hear me. Now I can be heard. For fuck's sakes, that's all I want. That's why I interrupt all the time. That's why I just want to be heard.
But you are the person who prevents yourself from being heard because you might hold the mic wrong. See, it's all self-sabotage.
The lion tamer who puts his head into the lion's mouth isn't the sub. He's the dominant one.
Yeah, obviously, right? So just to give you that, the example, and why I'm giving this example is that it's not just the submissive, historically, the submissive in a sexual situation or a submissive masseuse, but it's also in nature, right? We can make animals submit. But even if we kind of zoom out a little bit, if we think about the archetype image of colonization through like cultural representation, it is the safari hunter, which I always find really fascinating. Of like, where does that the safari hunter is obviously going out there killing fucking animals, but they are the sanitized version. Well, it's not that sanitized, but the version of the colonial soldiers going out there killing First Nations people, right?
Yeah.
It's exactly the same fucking figure. It's just refigured into the cultural imagination.
Yeah.
Which kind of attempts to like turn this oppression into some notion of a fair fight. Because there's always a safari hunter, like, could get surprised by the lion that jumps up in front of them, et cetera, right? There's that performed risk that goes with it. Or in Australia, we have the very peculiar thing of the boxing kangaroo. So it is an image, obviously, of capturing and expressing dominance. You go on, you're tapping the fucking table. Go on.
The image that comes to my mind when you think about the safari hunter for me is the Tinder profile, the male Tinder profile of the most typical white guy. And it's the fishing, like they're holding up fish. Like, so what is it? And I don't, what is it with dudes?
Do you know what it is?
And I've only seen them because like my friends that are on Tinder, like, because I like shopping with my friends, don't you know, or Bumble or whatever it is now. Like what's, you
shopping.
Is that shopping?
I don't know.
I've
never been on any of these apps.
It's shopping. Don't you like it?
I like it as a term. I just didn't know if that was
your friends that go on the apps, right?
They're shopping, are they?
Well, what else is it?
No, I agree. I'm just saying, is that the term that is commonly used?
No, I've used
male
it.
term. Okay,
No, that's a me
that's
term.
all. Yeah,
it's going to be a term.
Otherwise, I will drop it in a situation.
You should drop it. Drop shopping.
Drop shipping.
Drop shipping. Drop shipping. Drop roll. Do it in your lecture. Go shopping on Tinder.
Yeah.
Or not Tinder. Don't call it Tinder now because it's, what is it, Bumble? No, it's not even Bumble. I don't know which one it is. Anyway, when you're shopping with your friends, so when your friends are looking at, like, they show you their men, right? And you're flicking through and they flick through all the ones that they've matched with, or you just go for a stroll with them. Let's go for a stroll.
A flaneur window,
right? Every second person really is holding up a fish. What the hell is that?
It is that. It is the safari hunter. It's this idea of demonstrating that you can conquer nature, right? Yeah. But really fucking important, because this is where this gets spooky, but also it's just because you fucking read the slides and so that you don't.
No, I don't. I'm a fish. I am a fish.
And I'm holding you up.
Yeah.
The audience. You're flapping about on my boat. That the flip side of that, or the complementary image of the safari hunter out there shooting a lion, is the domestication of that animal. Because what happens? You cut off their head and you frame it and you put it on your wall in your home. So it is the bringing back and literal domestication of these beasts.
A trophy.
By making them a trophy and hanging them on the wall, which makes me think about and I don't know where I got this from, but the advice for like men on those apps is show yourself with a dog.
Show yourself what?
With a dog, holding or cuddling your dog, because that shows kindness. So on one hand, you have the fish. It's like, I can kill nature. On the other hand, so I can protect you from like threat. On the other hand, I have I can domesticate you, right? I can like turn you into this fucking dog.
So the perfect photo would be fishing with a dog.
Fishing with a dog. I bet you'll find there's a bunch of fucking pictures.
We should do that.
How successful would
we should do that with our tops off.
Yeah. I am pretty ripped at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm incredibly white though.
Yeah. Let's do that. What a great image.
It was pretty good.
Okay.
Have you ever caught a fish in your life though?
I have gone fishing once.
Yeah, me too.
And it was about that big, the fish.
Yeah, I don't know if that would impress.
I actually it was in the Tweed River. A friend of mine it was rental property back on, and his house literally backed onto the river. So I go, I'm going to fish. Like there's a river there. It's like a big river too, right?
Yeah,
It's a big river. So all I did was find a line, like, there was no rod to it. And I got some hook and I YouTubed how to do it and I threw it in. And I pulled it in and out about 10 times. I think I went to the server and got some like bait, some frozen prawns, right?
Yeah.
Did it about 10 times and it was boring as fuck, right? The kids that were around me, I was doing it with the kids so we could go fishing.
Yeah.
Because I thought I might be that dad.
Fisherman. Yeah.
I might be that, show them what that patriarchal male does, right?
Yeah.
So did it about 10 times and it was like boring. The kids ran away, like they were like back in the house doing stuff. And I sat out there and I went, I'm getting sunburnt. So I left the thing out, came back about maybe at the end of the day, I think one of the kids were like, I think there's like something on it. So this poor fish could have been on there for hours.
Yeah.
Like I reeled it in and it was like half there. I was like, and I went like, okay, I've got to kill this thing.
Yeah, that's one of two options, but yeah.
I didn't know how to. I've seen those survival shows where they rip the guts out and that, but you have to, and I wanted to put it out of its misery.
Yeah.
Like I was like, because that's another thing that you watch on TV and you go like, it's suffering. And it was really horrible. It was the fucking horrible experience.
Yeah.
And I think I took a rock and I just went boom and killed it. And no shit, one of the kids, there was 3 kids. One of the kids is a vegetarian from that point on.
Oh, well, that sacrifice of the fish was probably worth it.
Yeah. Like it can't eat meat anymore because, I really scarred it. Like, the dad said to me, fuck, man, you fucked up my child. Because I was like, watch this. I was like forcing them to watch. Not in a forceful way, like putting it, like I was just going, watch it. Like this.
Eyes wide shut moment.
Yeah, it was like, I was getting all like, I was getting kind of moralistic with it.
Yeah.
Like this thing died, let's thank it. I was thanking it. I was doing this fucking I know. It was just really wrong. I've never gone fishing again.
Well, so if we do it, we might have to like pre-buy a fish.
Yeah, we buy a fish.
Yeah.
We have to set it up. It has to be completely set.
Oh, yeah.
Luxury like that.
Yeah. Spot F. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do
Okay,
that.
cool. All right.
So somewhere between the fish and the dog is the perfect image of masculinity, which is the colonial masculine. I really like that. I think, that was a good interruption. But of course, once we get to post-19th century and within like a globalization capitalist mode, there aren't those kind of those far off lands don't exist in the same imaginary fantasy kind of space because it's all been fucking colonized. And so the ultra wealthy can't look to Africa, although obviously they still do and they still have those experience tourism there. But rather to get that like total sense of an exterior, you turn to an extinct creature, to an extinct time, and then you domesticate them, which is what you get in Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Right? And that's that is this narrative of domestication. In Jurassic Park, we've mentioned this last time, so I'm not gonna spend much time other than the fact that I do think it's worth teasing out a little bit about the fact that all the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park were female, right?
Yeah.
Which we mentioned last time. They're all female, and it is also too obviously capitalist. So in other words, like, why does Jurassic Park keep failing? Right? There's so many fucking movies every time something goes wrong, right?
Yeah.
Why does it keep failing? And that's because of the domestication and the performance of dominating nature is too obviously capitalist, right? It's too obviously like a theme park. So there are various assumptions around female domestication, like that females are like naturally domesticatable, which is why they chose to make them all female dinosaurs. So that is also a reason why it fails. But we also have that inversion that again we like raised last time, which is this kind of dual narrative going on here. This like fear of females, and I'm using females rather than women because we're talking about fucking an extinct time. But obviously, because dinos are cultural, I could say women here because it really is about a fear of women, expressed through a science of like sex of female, and that idea of like the female of the species more deadly than the male, that kind of stuff, right? But crucially, in Jurassic Park itself, the pack of female dinos becomes the horror and becomes the most terrifying thing of all. Not only that, it also in the phrase which everyone knows from Jurassic Park is like that life finds a way, that somehow they find a way to reproduce. I absolutely love this because on the one hand, for a film in the 90s, is calling out the diversity of sex in nature and the fact that it's not binary. And so you can't just make female dinosaurs, and that's just impossible. The cultural side of that, if you like, the culture of these dinos, the way that I like to think about it is that they're just like all these female dinos, diverse dinos, are all just having great lesbian queer sex. Because like, how else do you get eggs? They must all be fucking each other.
Yeah.
And produce these kind of weird new queer futures, these eggs, that is in direct opposition to the medicalized, like scientific hub of where the eggs are in vitro fertilized and produced, that then that whole science area gets destroyed by the dinos. So it's like this refusal of this medicalized reproduction.
Heather Davies talks about this. Do you know Heather Davies?
Yeah, I do know Heather Davies.
She refers to it through plastics, right? And queering futures through plastics and thinking about being queer and not thinking about having children because you're queer. It's not part of your narrative. That whole construct that Judith Butler talks about, but finding creative artistic research and finding out that there is a bacteria starting to eat the plastic.
Yeah.
And yet that bacteria now is breeding.
Yeah.
And we've created that. We've created that for our consumption, and then the whole placement of the ghost of Indigenous people into the plastics.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so much to unpack with Heather Davies. But that's
which this kind of that's right.
It's kind of like a queer future in Jurassic Park.
Made out of the most like binary normative fantasy of domesticating and capitalizing the dino.
Yeah.
Right. And that's like the joy of the film. Yeah, it's great, isn't it?
Fuck, I love that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So it purely proves, obviously, that nature is queer. Jurassic Park tries its best to repress this conclusion, right? Obviously, the film isn't trying to say that nature is queer or that it's a queer film. It's obviously fucking not. It is centered around the heteronormative white fucking family. But it can't help but fall into the ideological contradiction that the film itself spawns. So that women cannot be contained is both the fear and promise of dominant privileged men or males seeking to affirm their position. Every film is about like the central protagonist should be the one that is capable of domesticating her. And that narrative is not just a gendered narrative of like marriage and family, but is also the colonial narrative of the land, which is so often figured in like as a woman, right? And the domestication, i.e. cultivation of the land through crops, et cetera, et cetera. This domestication occurs through its own capitalist and colonial logic. But then also, which I really love, is that every time it fails because of its own capitalist logic in that there has to be another Jurassic Park film.
Yeah.
So in order for it to be eternal and for there to be Jurassic Park till the end of time, this domestication must always fail. So it's only ever a narrative of the failure of the man.
Yeah.
Which is fucking great. And the success of queer nature.
Yeah.
It's cool. So something else that I found, which is like weirdly linked to this, because I've been cross-dressing in lectures, I was kind of looking up the history of cross-dressing.
Yeah.
And I found that there's a tradition of painting a bearded Mary in Christian iconography. Yeah.
Is this because there was no female models? It was only male models?
No, that's a good guess, and there are like lots of examples of that throughout history. But this is iconography, so not like it wouldn't necessarily have been done from model or life. The reason why there is this tradition, and I think it's like the 12th to 15th century of painting Mary with a beard, is because historically, and this is where we see the inversion within Christianity and masculinity that I'm describing now. The masculinity that I'm describing now is a very particular colonial capitalist narrative. Obviously, Christianity predates that. And so how does Christianity affirm a type of masculinity now, which must, and that we're seeing like hyper fucking horrible forms of misogyny at the moment. So it's only ever accelerated through, it's not as though like these new forms of misogyny have suddenly appeared and we don't know where they've come from. They are still very much on brand for the histories of colonialism, capitalism, right? They've just accelerated and become more obscene. So how does like Christianity start to justify greed and like satisfying of going for your desire and all that kind of stuff, right? I think there's this assumption that colonization, capitalism, and Christianity just all have the same ideology. Yeah. Christianity, like anything that's been around for a long time, its ideology shifts and changes. And so this notion of like masculinity coming from Christianity is not true in that historically those traits have been actually inversed in Christianity itself. And so this inversion had to occur largely through evangelical Christianity, which I'll talk about in a second. But the reason why you paint Mary with a beard is that historically it wasn't men that were considered to be like overly sexual and like driven by desires and they're unconscious and all that kind of stuff. It was women, right? You know, it was the woman that was like tempting you out there and all that kind of stuff. So it was the man who was like the chaste, in control, rational, transcendent of nature, right? So not the person that we can't name. Kind of figure, right?
Yeah.
But in fact, precisely that idea that the man whose dominance is about actual repressing his desires rather than expressing them. And so as such, Mary with a beard was because Mary is supposed to be the ultimate chaste woman in Christian mythology. So if you were to paint the ultimate chaste woman, what do you paint? You paint a man, because the ultimate chaste woman would have characteristics of a man.
Yeah.
Now, what's interesting is that this completely flips in American capitalism, where the pursuit of that idea of being like overtly sexual, like, you know, it's in man's nature to be like that, then has to become coded into Christian morality. And that like perversion is such an interesting history, particularly when you then like connect to trans rights or whatever, and then point out the fact that, well, hold on a minute, like the justification you're using for this naturalization of a binary of gender, what about the fact that like Mary has a beard, right? And that fluidity around what gender constructions were applied to Mary, the mother of Jesus.
Yeah.
And that was fine for like hundreds of years.
And especially, like you said, it's being used now, it's weaponized against trans people. But that's a great analogy. Like,
Yeah.
I reckon we should bring back bearded Mary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I kind of am.
Yeah. Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
You're like a bearded Mary.
Yeah, it's not like in my youth.
Holding a fish with a dog.
I used to
Cavoodle.
be compared to Jesus.
Yeah.
Because I'm classic Euro Jesus, right? Back in the day, because I had long hair and a beard, right?
Yeah.
So I was this blonde fucking Jesus.
I was classic Palestinian Jesus. I had long hair and like some facial hair. Like,
we don't have Messiah complexes at all.
No, not at all.
No.
Hallelujah.
What I want to suggest then is that at an unconscious level, that when the CEO, the property developer, goes out and feeds a crocodile with a chicken, remember, as you rightly pointed out, the chicken is just the domesticated dinosaur.
Yeah.
That what the true identification that is occurring here is with the loser rather than the crocodile is the winner. So when the property developer looks into the crocodile's eyes, he sees that crocodile is a loser because it's been domesticated, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't exist. And so he recognizes his own loserness, his own like incapacity to sustain himself in the dependent relationship that the crocodile has, that produces this performance of power, a supposed power exchange between that. So the culture relation industry that we create with the animal is the thing that the CEO is like encountering. So when the property developer looks into the eyes of the lion, he sees the same empty relation, the impotence of its power and the dependence on the structure around it. It is, and they are bottom feeders feeding off the labor of the working class in return for the spectacle of supposed natural dominance. So the real lion, the real shark, has never been seen by a human, has never been habituated to humanness, and therefore we cannot have an encounter with those animals, because that's where nature, if you like, is this other thing exists.
Yeah.
These other 2 points I don't want to talk about. I will briefly mention Donna Haraway text on companion species, right? But it makes the point that we obviously put ourselves as the shaper of these animals.
Yeah.
And that's how we domesticate them. And her really I guess obvious but radical and very well argued point is that rather the truth is that there's like co-shapings, co-evolutions all the way down. So in other words, the bourgeois, the CEO and the crocodile have co-evolved together. Like the reason why we feed them crocodiles is to introduce the CEO, the property developer, the bourgeois, to the crocodile.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be feeding them otherwise. We'd be still making shoes out of them. As such, that relation, that co-evolving, like the CEO is becoming more crocodile, the crocodile is becoming more CEO, not in because it's a dominant animal, but because they are both bottom feeders, is a classic symptom of late capitalism, where both are reliant on the working class to perform, to have this performance of dominance. But, and this is like crucial, the dinosaur and the human cannot be thought of through Donna Haraway's companion species, because they did not co-evolve together. They were separated by millions, hundreds of millions of years. So technically, I mean, technically we evolved, didn't co-evolve from them, in that like just simply we came after them. But even more technically, the dino, as we were trying to say here, is a cultural category more than a scientific one, which means that it doesn't have to truck with the messiness of co-evolution. It doesn't have to be confronted with that, with the CEO looking into the eyes of the crocodile and seeing the co-evolution that they are both losers. So the dinosaur never has to do that, because there has been no co-evolution. It is an entirely like fantasy of a fictive animal that did exist, which is why the dinosaur is the perfect monster for the CEO to attach to, for the bourgeois to attach to, for this form of masculinity to attach to. Perhaps the only dino, if we do have this desire, and this is something else that I wanted to raise, was like, and we've talked about this off and on, like, what does it mean to say that and go, but you know what, like, I actually did like dinosaurs as a kid. I mean, I didn't, but whatever. Or like, I do like going and seeing a crocodile. How do I deal with that desire if this is your critique?
Yeah.
And I would just say, like, I think, you know, and you said this last time as well, it's like allowing yourself to feel it, but then always be critical of that feeling and thinking, can I put this feeling towards a different object and still like be true to that feeling, or at least like acknowledge its existence. And so I would say, if you have this in your history and in your present, that you are someone who is drawn to these kind of experiences, that maybe the only dino that you are allowed to desire, that I will let you desire, is the great white shark that you can never and will never see. That seems okay.
Wow, you just gave us some advice.
I mean, it's not great advice.
Yeah, I loved it.
Desire something that you can never find.
I was blushing.
This is not for CEOs, by the way.
Okay,
To be very clear, this is
this
like,
is
because
for you.
we're acknowledging that it's okay to be like an artist, like a minimum wage, and still want to see a crocodile. I get that, there's a category of people out there that fit too, and it may be important to their identity, even like a sense of masculinity. Yeah. So that's fine to have that. Like, it's fine. Is like, if you have that desire, what do you do with that desire now? Yeah. And so I'm trying to give options here. Let the fucking CEO go out and feed the crocodile the chicken. Let them have that like loser experience. But you go and have the fantasy with great white. Yeah. I love that. Never seen and will never see.
Can I just also put a disclaimer in there? When we were talking about BDSM, also there's BDS, and that's boycott, divest, and sanction. They're two different movements.
Yeah.
Okay.
But feel free to do both. Yeah. Or be involved in both.
Yeah. I just wanted to put that in there.
Yeah. Just both are important. And
because I feel like there is some kind of like conclusion happening.
Well, we're getting to that point. No, it's not. We're not.
Oh, good. I want to see more art about dinosaurs.
I do have some images.
This is a lie.
Oh, good. I like
you help me.
pictures.
You help me. I know you don't like reading.
Yeah, I do.
But
like
look,
reading.
There wasn't much reading on that slide.
Yeah.
Come on, that's not a bad slide.
Yeah.
But you've helped me divest and boycott this morning.
I did.
I appreciate that. Yeah. Thank you.
So can I mention that?
Please.
So SodaStream is not a good company for those of you, and I think a lot of people love their fizzy water.
Yeah. I am one such person.
Yeah. So if you've got fizzy water at home, just don't buy SodaStream. Buy Zooft. This is our first non-paid ad. Buy Zooft.
Hey Zooft.
Well, I'm going to actually tag Zooft into this, right?
Yeah.
Buy Zooft, ZUFT.
If you get free bottles as well, can I have some?
Yeah, of course you can.
Thanks.
I don't think we'll get free bottles, but like we might, right? Buy Zooft because it's an Australian company that makes its own bubbles here. Fits into your old system you bought before. You knew before 1948. This is
you bought it before 1948.
You bought it before 1948.
Yeah,
you did buy it like after 1788. Yeah. Okay, but we we can't all be
perfect.
Yeah, exactly.
Fantasizing about plates.
Yeah. So buy Zooft, bubbles that don't come from occupied territories.
Well, if they're Australian.
Yeah, I know. Well,
different occupied territories.
Yeah, different. It's all this. Oh fuck! And
still
think about conscious.
Just think about it. BDS. Yeah,
not M
or M.
Monetize.
I remember you saying that you wanted to make money off this thing, and I remember thinking how fucking absurd that was.
Yeah, that I wanted to make money off this.
Yeah.
Did I say that?
Well, no.
I want to make this a job.
Yeah, a job.
This
Well, I
is
assume
a-
they associate that
This
with
is
money.
this is a perfect job. Can I just? I know there's a
Talk
lot
while
of
I
people
read.
here.
Go.
Just why did Ramesh unfollow me on Instagram? Like, I just want to know. Just I don't know. I don't know where I'm going with this. Trump dislikes a great white shark.
Yes. Because
Sorry, I
they
just-
have been. It's okay.
Sorry.
They have been and will be around forever. That's the quote from him. And they are also the animal that resists the most domestication. That great whites have never been held in captivity. So there is a raw other to a shark that apparently that I think no other animal has, which is I think why Trump dislikes them. But all of this desire to naturalize domination from a class who inherit their power, position, and authority, that's the desire that's driving the encounters with animals. Their pure symbolic power ends up just finding another pure symbolic power, which is the dino, even though that is symbolized as natural. It's a symbol of something that is natural. So it ultimately compounds their impotence because it always collapses to various forms of domestication. The fact that dinos exist culturally and literally where genocide has occurred, and this is a safari kind of thing, hides the erasure of people who face extinction every day, not just First Nations people, but anyone who has used up all their resources every day just to survive and therefore aren't going out for fucking thrill rides. To be clear, I'm talking about dinos to ridicule those who seek power through it and to never forget that this is about the unnatural industrial capitalist dominance that most people feel and are subjected to. They're the people I'm ridiculing, not necessarily someone who likes dinosaurs, but those who use the dinosaurs to seek power and who have learnt to seek power through the dinosaur as a kid. So their parents have taught them that domination. Experienced tourism and dinomania is always surplus and always from surplus. It is excessive in a way that is not open to most of us. Most of us don't go to fucking resorts or go once and are horrified by it. Looking at how that surplus is spent gives us an insight into the unconscious anxiety and needs of these cunts. The fantasy world is an obscene use of surplus that could be used otherwise, like the military searching for the pop of a submarine rather than searching for people crying out in the ocean. So this leads us into the deadly or deathly of fascist imagery. And this is like the last kind of wild connection I want to throw here, trying to turn this podcast into an artwork to then link dinos back to fascist imagery and in particular AI. So the dino, therefore, the dinosaur as this sort of lasting, unchangeable figure from the past, but also when we think about it, it's also very dynamic and violent, right? It's running around fucking eating shit. So it has characteristics of both a fixed image that can't change and an image that is in itself dynamic. It is actually very much how Hitler described the swastika, and because he designed it, and it was this image that's supposed to never change and be stuck on everything, but also is supposed to symbolize dynamism and movement and force and violence, right? It is also similar to the history of avant-garde art in Italy, where you have the shift from futurism to novecentist art. Everyone knows about futurism. It is like the crazy art of energy, and it is avant-garde. Novecentist art is the kind of fascist. They're both fascist, but the different type of fascist art. Novecentist art is mostly still lifes, very like stable, perfect compositions of still lifes, right? So Mussolini was around the time of futurism and preferred novecentist art. And he actually opened the first novecentist art exhibition. Mussolini, like Hitler, was very interested in art. And at that opening of the exhibition, he said, before man knows the need for culture, he feels the need for order. And that was like a deliberate saying, like the still life painting is the thing that fascism should look towards rather than the dynamic futurist painting. As such, we can think about the dinosaur as being both of those.
Yeah.
Order, change, it doesn't change, but that the T-Rex is the T-Rex, but then it's also dynamic at the same time. So this then leads us to a notion, I think, of like, I think you even raised this, of techno-feudalism.
Yeah.
Like techno-feudalism seems really perfect for describing like the kind of character that would turn a dino into a kind of king-like figure.
Yeah.
Right? Like that just seems like that. It is a return of feudalism, where dinos start to make sense of a man-eating fucking food pyramid,
Yeah.
right? Of the techno-feudalists at the top. So kind of perfect sort of triangle there. And so this is, I promise I'm saying this out loud so everyone hears, this is the last slide. I promise. This is the last slide.
This is a lie.
Yeah. It's usually not true, but it is actually true.
This is a lie.
The very famous Benjamin quote, which is, such is the aestheticizing of politics as practiced by fascism. Communism replies by politicizing art. So fascism is the aestheticization of politics, whereas communism politicizes art. If fascism is aestheticizing politics, then the dinosaur is the aestheticization of a particular type of fascist politics. And it is typified by, I think, by AI. Like if we're talking about like what is the fascist aesthetics of our time in that Benjamin sense, it is AI image generation. And I have two images here. And the first one is like kind of pre-AI image production, which is from 2018, which is the Republican Club. Now, Trump had this painting. It's weird fucking nobody painter, but somehow it came to Trump's attention. And this painting was in the White House during his first term. And it has him with a selection of previous Republican presidents, right? Where he's like the central. There's a thing in socialist realist painting where you paint Mao or you paint Stalin in a white shirt and everyone else can't have a white shirt, right? So you're the godlike, kind of all the light goes on you. This is Trump in that scenario, right? It is to go right back to the Last Dinosaur book that this whole thing started with. There's an image on the cover of that book, which is a cowboy fighting a dino. Right, this is a scene that obviously could not exist. These guys are all dead. And yet they're brought back to life in order to have this kind of fictive dinner party. And there are so many interesting AI things in here. Like that just reads as an AI prompt. In particular, like the woman in the background, like so there's only one woman in the whole scene, right? She is such an AI woman. In that like the bottom half of her is like gone. And sort of weirdly kind of sketched in and distorted. And so that to me, like that, that is the aesthetic of fascism before AI, but it looks so fucking AI that it kind of tells you where like AI is drawing like its fantasies from in order to create this like this out of time, out of history thing, which is what the dino fucking is, right? The dino allows you to have these fantastical scenarios. So AI image generation is obviously the fascist aesthetic of our time. It is like the aestheticization of politics, which the image on the right is just like a crystallization of that. But that isn't by no means like a sole example, right? It's absolutely everywhere. But it is also in images that aren't straightforwardly fascist, right? AI images that generates these fantasies of dominance, of impossible historical and future scenarios, all learnt through the making cultural of something that was just a bunch of animals, right? And it's something that, you know, a bunch of images that then get turned into AI fascism. These were a bunch of animals that then get used by kids in terms to play the fantasy of the cowboy fighting the T-Rex. So if we can bring back the dino when we're a kid and learn how to dominate it through these fantasies and make it cute and control it, then we can make images of Trump as king or Gaza as Trumpland and pass it, as in like believe it in a kind of fantastical but aestheticized politics of Trump's fascism. And all of this starts with the white suburban male kid playing with the dino. That is what they're learning. They're learning how to incorporate AI imagery and fascism and fantasies, not as like real. Like I always hate when the debate goes like, oh, it's like it becomes like fake, right? Why don't people are thinking this is real when it's fake? It's like, no. That's beside the point. Whether it's real or fake is beside the point. What's the fantasy that is being like felt through these images? And it starts with the fantasy of the little white kid in suburbia playing with the dinosaur and learning to control it. And you end up with this shit. Because they were the ones in the 90s. This is when dinos were the biggest, you know, they had the dino bedroom, right? They're the programmers. That did this,
exactly.
right? That's the coded fantasy that they put into this shit. That's it. What more could you want, audience?
This has been great.
What can you take? Thanks, Mel. It has been.
Thanks for having me.
That's okay. Thanks for having me in your house.
And you know what I enjoyed about you being here?
What?
How we came out before and we were just showing you things. Did you notice that?
I did notice that.
Yeah. There was like this real proud moment.
I genuinely appreciated that.
We were showing you our wealth through art.
You weren't showing me that. You were just you were proud. Not only were you proud, but what I appreciated about that was that you felt that I would appreciate that.
Yeah, and you didn't give a fuck. You were like, "Let's just take these things away from me." No,
True.
no,
I
it's not.
performed interest.
Yeah, you did. You did.
All right.
Right, bye.
Bye.
Evict.